The rise of armed struggle, the killing of a beloved journalist, and Israel goes even farther right. Here are the biggest things that happened in Palestine this year. Israel killed more than 170 Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Jerusalem, making it the deadliest year for Palestinians in the occupied territory since 2005. At least 36 of those killed were minors, like Rayan Suleiman, who was literally scared to death while being chased down by Israeli soldiers.
We are the resistance, and we defend our people and sacred places.
For the first time since the Second Intifada, many Palestinians turned to arms to resist Israeli settler colonialism, challenging the army through organized resistance campaigns and lone wolf operations. To quell the rebellion, Israel launched its Break the Wave campaign, which included nightly raids, mass arrests, and extrajudicial killings of fighters. Despite this, the phenomenon seems to be growing. On May 11th, Israeli forces shot and killed beloved Palestinian-American journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, sending shockwaves across Palestine. Israel first blamed Palestinian gunmen for Abu Akleh's death, but later admitted that there was a high possibility she was accidentally hit by Israeli fire. After immense pressure from her family, the U.S. finally announced it would launch its own independent probe into Abu Akleh's death, which Israel has refused to cooperate in. Israel elected its most far-right government in history in November, with known racists like Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich emerging as major players in Benjamin Netanyahu's new government. The two lawmakers, both settlers living in the West Bank, have openly incited for violence against Palestinians and have called for increased settlement construction and looser open fire regulations for the army and police. In 2023, they'll both be given increased powers in the government, a scary reality for millions of Palestinians living under occupation.
أنا قاعد بصور لكم ممكن ينزل الصاروخ وبعد بشوي تقولوا الشهيد رمضان أبو جزر.
2022 marked 15 years since Israel enforced a complete blockade on the Gaza Strip, closing down its borders and taking over control of everything that goes in and out of the Strip. The effects have been devastating. With multiple wars and sky-high poverty and unemployment rates, life in Gaza has been deemed unlivable. To add to that, Israel killed 52 people in Gaza this August in a military assault that lasted 3 days. Israel raided and shut down 6 Palestinian civil society organizations, classifying them as terror groups. Their staff and leaders were threatened with arrest, despite the fact that the EU and others have found Israel's so-called evidence against the organizations to be largely baseless. Salah Hamouri, a prominent lawyer and human rights defender with one of the 6, was jailed and later deported to France. Palestinian civil society groups have been demanding international intervention for more than a year, particularly from the US, but their pleas have gone unanswered.